After so many years of marriage, Mazi Okafor and his wife Obiageri were unable to conceive and bear children of their own. Without a child they could call their own in the community, people understood life differently. Life was hell for both of them. They were often insulted with harsh words from the villagers, just because their marriage had not produced children. Most times Mazi Okafor and his wife Obiageri would sit at home and cry for the constant humiliations they often suffered outside their home by the same people they loved and cared for. But they continued trusting God for the fruit of the womb. When they finally gave up hope of having children after so many years of trying and were about to go through adoption as an option, something unusual happened. It was at that very point that God finally remembered them and Obiageri conceived. At 9 months of Obiageri's pregnancy, they were in the hospital eagerly expecting either a baby boy or girl. But to their greatest surprise, Obiageri put to bed a set of twin boys, making Mazi Okafor and his wife Obiageri very proud and happy parents. They were excited that after a very long wait that they were finally remembered by God. As they returned from the hospital where Obiageri delivered her babies, a sound of celebration and shouts of joy were heard, coming out from the beautiful home of Mazi Okafor and his wife Obiageri that night. They were celebrating the safe delivery of their newborn babies. Mazi Okafor and his wife Obiageri were blessed with a set of twin boys after 12 solid years of childlessness. They had practically looked for solutions everywhere, and did everything within their means to have kids, but all to no avail, as Obiageri could not conceive until that very moment they heard the cry of twin babies they could proudly call their children. From that day on, Obiageri was given a new name, Mama Ejima, which means mother of twins. And the babies became the pride of Mazi Okafor's family. They were so grateful to God for finally taking away their sorrow and shame and giving them the opportunity to taste parenthood. Few weeks later, in a grand naming ceremony attended by the whole village and surrounding communities, the twins were named Cha Gozi, meaning God has blessed, and Chizaram, meaning God answered me. That day a very big feast followed at Mazi Okafor's home. The celebration party lasted deep into the night. Men and women, young and old, attended from Alandu and other neighboring villages. It was a day to remember. Guests had enough to eat and drink, and the atmosphere was filled with joy and happiness. Those villagers who were earlier speaking negatively against Mazi Okafor and his wife Obiageri because of their childlessness all hid their faces and had nothing else to say. Finally, they eventually joined the celebration and had fun like every other guest.